historic, a landmark, fantastic, good for all. Now, there was no shortage of superlatives when India and the United Kingdom announced they had reached a free trade agreement, pact, on May 6th this year. And this week, once the Union Cabinet ratifies it, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will fly to London to sign the FTA into effect, along with British Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer. But at least one of those terms, the one that went good for all, that was used by UK's Secretary of State for International Trade, Nigel Huddleston, may have been a bit off the mark, as it turns out. There has been uproar in the British Isles over some of the provisions, especially the one that now exempts Indian workers from paying insurance. Meanwhile, in New Delhi, there is worry over how giving British entities access to Indian government contracts will play out when it comes to the country's small businesses. Now, initially, there was jubilation when the deal was announced. Brits got access to a vast domestic market, while Indian businesses would find a market where they could charge a premium for the clothing and footwear to start with, and expect cheaper Johnny Walkers in return. What's not to like, right? But then there are grumblings ringing loud and clear. In Britain, it primarily stems from the provision which exempts Indians working in the UK for up to 3 years not needing to pay for insurance. While there is a reciprocal relaxation for Brits coming to work in India, the consternation was expressed obviously in the UK, considering that it would make 20,000 Indians or so on short-term work visas more attractive for employment compared to native Britons, since the employer would not need to pay the insurance tax, which incidentally was just raised this year. It did not help that a boastful Indian government statement said the concession was an unprecedented achievement and that it would make Indians in the UK more competitive, leading to opposition conservatives being at the forefront of raising the issue. The Labour government's business secretary, Jonathan Reynolds, has said that the tax outgo due to this was less than a tenth of the additional £1 billion in additional tax revenue the FTA was expected to bring. And what's the big deal? With the UK already having a similar double contribution convention with more than 50 other countries, including the US and Canada. But back here in India, there is equal, if not more, concern over the opening up of government procurement to British entities. Many worry this would impact Indian contractors and traders in the MSME sector. It has also been pointed out that Indian businesses would not get a similar access to the UK's procurement markets. In the end, any deal is a give and take. India wanted more visas, which it did not get. UK wanted more access for legal, financial and digital services, which they did not get. India may still have a concern on rule of origin, which could help non-UK made goods entering India at lower duties, while UK has a concern over India's sustainability practices. But in the end, both nations decided to go forward with what they have got instead of waiting further, especially considering the uncertainty all over the world over trade, what with Donald Trump's tariff tantrums.